Okay, this continues our lecture on section 3.4. We're going to talk about finding 3 points to satisfy a line. So one of the ways that we can do this is we can just do a plug and chug as well as finding the y-intercept. So we know that this value is the y-intercept, so we can just automatically say let's have this first point as 0, 3, since how we know that's the y-intercept. And then we can let x equal, and we can solve for other values of y. Now, because this has a fraction in it, we want x's to be multiples of 3. So let's start with let's let x equal positive 3. So y is going to equal to negative 2/3 and then times 3 and then plus 3. And the 3's will cancel here and here, so negative 2 plus 3, which is equal to positive 1. So we now have a second ordered pair of x equals 3 and y equals 1. Now we're going to do that one more time, and I'm going to let x equal a negative 3 this time. So x equals a negative 3. So when we do that, we have y is equal to a negative 2/3, a negative 2/3 times a negative 3, and then plus 3. And so again, we're going to cancel here and here, but this time we have a negative 1 and a 1 down here, and a negative times a negative is a positive. So this time we're going to have a positive 2 plus a 3, which is equal to a 5. And that is our y value. So when we have x is equal to negative 3, we have y is equal to 5. Now these are 3 solutions for this equation, or 3 ordered pairs, 1, 2, and 3, that satisfy the line. And the next logical progression is, of course, to graph that line. And we all know how to plot 3 points and draw a straight line through it, and that would be a way to graph that. Now, I'd like to talk to you about a couple of applications of slope that your book doesn't necessarily mention at this time, and then go on to the other main topics from our actual book. So example 17 and 18 are examples that show us some applications of the slope of a line. And the applications that we're talking about in the slope of this line is a pitch and a grade of a road. And these are both slope applications. So if we're talking about from the middle of a ceiling to a point on the roof, so here's our ceiling, right? And here is a point on the roof. That's the top of the roof, right? So that's called the apex of the roof. So there was what we have, and from here up to here, it's 5 feet. And then from the middle of the ceiling, so right here where this hits, over to the edge of the roof over here, this is 10 feet. You see, this is our rise, and this down here is our run. And so the pitch of this, which is the same thing as the slope, the pitch of this roof is going to be a rise over a run, which is a 5 over a 10. And so we have a pitch that is equal to a 1 over a 2, or a pitch of 1/2. And so that is applying our knowledge of how to use a slope to show something else other than just the slope. And that kind of leads us into our next chapter, which is our next section of the chapter, which is going to show us that indeed there are many real-world applications of the slope of a line. Our example 18 shows us yet another one, and so it's talking about a train climbing a hill here. And so we have our little choo-choo train here, and it's got climbing up this grade, and it's going to have to go up a certain amount here for every amount that it goes here. So it climbs vertically at 2,580 meters, and then its horizontal is 6450 meters. And so we again have a rise here over a run here. And what we have this time is something called grade, which grade again is just a slope. Now, the grade we usually give in terms of percentages, so a lot of times you'll see these not just written as a ratio, but as a percentage, and we'll talk about that more